Life often presents moments where we feel lost, unsure, or disconnected from our purpose. The familiar path may seem unclear, and the direction we once felt certain about appears to fade away. It's in these moments that our faith is tested. But what if I told you that in your feeling of being lost, there lies a deeper, more powerful force at work? What if, instead of being a sign of failure or confusion, it's a sign that you're exactly where you need to be? When you feel lost, it's not a random, meaningless experience. Instead, it's an invitation to trust in something greater than yourself. It's in these very moments of uncertainty that God is leading you. And while the path might not always be clear, know this: there is purpose in the journey, and your next step is already unfolding in the unseen. When you feel lost, the tendency is to panic, to question everything you've worked for, and to wonder why things aren't falling into place. But what if this sense of being lost is exactly where you're meant to be? What if this uncertainty is actually a sign that God is guiding you, not abandoning you? The truth is that even in the moments when we feel completely directionless, we are exactly where we need to be. God's plan for our lives often doesn't unfold in the way we expect, and it's easy to forget that when we're in the midst of confusion. Yet the very nature of being lost can be the catalyst for transformation if we allow it to be. You see, trust in the process is one of the most powerful practices we can adopt in our lives. Life isn't meant to be lived with a rigid map that never changes, but rather as an unfolding journey where the road is sometimes unclear. The detours, the setbacks, the moments of pause, they are all a part of the divine plan. And in those moments when it feels like we've lost our way, it's important to remember that we haven't been abandoned. Instead, we've been guided into a new phase of our life, one that requires trust in something greater than ourselves. Trusting the process means surrendering control, knowing that every twist, every turn, and even every unexpected obstacle is part of a much bigger picture. When we're feeling lost, our instinct is often to take immediate action, to fix the situation, to get back on the path that feels comfortable. But the truth is that the process itself is often more important than the destination. It's in those uncertain times that God works to refine us, to mold us into the person we need to become to handle what's next. The waiting period, the times of stillness, are not a sign that we've lost our way. They are a chance for us to deepen our faith and strengthen our character. God doesn't leave us in the wilderness without purpose. Every moment in the unknown is a moment for us to grow, to prepare, and to step into a version of ourselves we never imagined possible. By trusting the process, we allow ourselves to release the pressure of knowing exactly what's next. Instead of obsessing over the destination, we embrace the journey. We trust that we're exactly where we need to be, even if it doesn't feel like it at the time. When we let go of the need to control everything, we make space for God's wisdom to guide us in ways we could never have predicted. This doesn't mean the journey will always be easy. In fact, there will be times when the feeling of being lost becomes overwhelming. But when we trust in the process, we start to realize that it's through these moments of uncertainty that God is shaping us, leading us towards something far greater than we could have imagined. There is a deep peace that comes with surrendering to the process of life. It's when we stop fighting against the current, when we stop trying to control every outcome, that we begin to feel God's presence in our lives in ways we never expected. It's not about rushing to the next stage. It's about embracing the moment we're in, trusting that it's all part of the bigger plan. The process is sacred, and when we trust it, we allow ourselves to be led with grace, knowing that we are never truly lost. When faced with challenges, it's easy to view them as obstacles that are blocking our progress. We often see them as setbacks, signs that we're not on the right path or that something has gone wrong. But what if these very challenges were not hindrances at all, but instead opportunities for profound growth? What if the struggles we face are exactly what we need to evolve into the person we're meant to become? When you feel lost and overwhelmed, it's not a signal that you're failing. It's a clear message that you're being refined, molded, and prepared for the next level in your life. Adversity has the power to shape us in ways that comfort and ease never could. It's in the difficult moments, the ones that feel like they're breaking us, that we're actually being built up. Every challenge you face, every hardship is creating space for you to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. But too often, we miss this transformation because we're too focused on the pain and frustration of the present moment. Instead of looking at challenges as something negative, consider them as the very tools that are necessary for your personal evolution. These are the experiences that push you beyond your current limitations and help you realize strengths you didn't know you had. It's easy to become discouraged when the road is tough and the journey is filled with obstacles. But the more you embrace these difficulties, the more you begin to realize that they're pushing you toward a new level of awareness. Challenges don't just test your ability to endure, they test your ability to evolve. They invite you to stretch beyond what you thought was possible and show you the depth of your potential. In these moments of struggle, you're not just surviving, you're growing. You're being stretched beyond your comfort zone, and that's where real transformation occurs. This process of growth in adversity requires a shift in mindset. Instead of fighting against the struggle, try to shift your perspective and see it as a necessary part of your journey. Every hardship is an opportunity to learn something new about yourself, to deepen your understanding of the world around you, to gain a new sense of strength. The discomfort you feel when things don't go as planned is the very thing that forces you to look within and develop the resilience you need to overcome even greater challenges in the future. Furthermore, it's important to recognize that growth in adversity is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing process. Every time you face a challenge, you are given another chance to evolve. Even when you think you've mastered a particular struggle, life will present another opportunity for you to grow. This cycle of growth is never-ending, and it's through the continuous process of overcoming obstacles that you begin to unlock new layers of your potential. The challenges you face today will eventually become the source of your strength tomorrow. In these moments, it's essential to stay grounded and maintain your faith. Adversity doesn't come to defeat you, it comes to refine you. And even when you feel lost, unsure of your direction, know that you are exactly where you need to be. The very struggles you face are helping you build the strength, resilience, and wisdom that will carry you forward into the life you've always dreamed of. When you embrace adversity as a gift, you begin to see the beauty in the struggle and the profound transformation that it brings. There are moments in life when the path ahead seems shrouded in mystery, when the next step is uncertain and the direction forward is unclear. It's natural to feel anxious or hesitant during these times, as the unknown can be daunting. However, it's often in these very moments of uncertainty that the most profound growth takes place. Embracing the unknown isn't about seeking comfort in what's familiar, but rather about trusting that the journey, even when undefined, is exactly what you need. God's guidance often shows up in ways we least expect, and stepping into the unknown is where that guidance becomes most evident. When we face the unknown, it's tempting to resist it, to crave certainty and predictability. We want the road to be laid out in front of us, clear and straight, so we can walk with confidence. But life rarely works this way. The more we cling to the need for certainty, the more we stifle the very growth that comes from the unknown. It's only by stepping into the mystery, by embracing what we don't yet understand, that we open ourselves up to the divine wisdom that is always guiding us. The unknown is not something to fear, but something to embrace with open arms, because it is in this space that we are truly invited to trust, not in ourselves, but in something greater. It's in the unknown that we learn to surrender control. Control is an illusion. We can't always dictate what happens next in our lives. But when we release the need to control the outcome, we create space for a higher power to work through us. The unknown invites us to have faith, to trust that even when we can't see the way forward, we are not alone. God's presence is most felt when we let go of our need to know every detail, every next step, and simply trust that we are being guided. And the mystery becomes less of a source of fear and more of an opportunity for divine intervention. Embracing the unknown also means recognizing that not knowing the way forward is part of the process. The uncertainty that surrounds us isn't a sign of failure or confusion. It's often a sign that we are being prepared for something greater. Life does not always reveal its plans to us right away, but when we learn to trust, we begin to see the patterns emerge over time. Sometimes the path ahead will be obscured for reasons we cannot understand, and yet in that very obscurity, we are being refined, shaped, and aligned with our higher purpose. The unknown is where God is working in us, leading us to places we may never have imagined, but that will ultimately lead to fulfillment. When we step into the unknown with faith, we begin to realize that the mystery itself is not something to avoid, but something to celebrate. It is through uncertainty that we grow, that we discover new strengths, and that we are able to trust in a way we never could have if everything was laid out before us. The unknown is a space for us to let go of our need for control and simply allow the unfolding of God's plan in our lives. And though the journey may not always be clear, we can take comfort in the fact that we are never truly lost, but rather being guided in ways that will become clear in time. In life, there are times when we feel as though everything is crumbling around us, when the weight of the world feels too heavy to carry, and when it seems like nothing is going according to plan. During these moments, it's easy to feel lost, to question our choices, and wonder if we've somehow missed the mark. But in these very moments of vulnerability, when we feel most fragile, God is at work within us, shaping us into the person we need to become. The trials and difficulties we face are not punishments or signs that we're on the wrong path, but opportunities for personal transformation. It's in the deepest struggles that we often discover our truest strength, a strength we may have never known we had until we were tested. The pain we experience, whether emotional, physical, or mental, is not something to be avoided, but something to be embraced as part of the process of growth. Often we resist pain, trying to shield ourselves from it, not realizing that it is in those moments of discomfort that we are being refined. Pain has a way of peeling back the layers we've built around ourselves, forcing us to confront who we really are and what we truly believe. It's not until we experience hardship that we realize the depths of our inner resilience. We learn that we are capable of handling much more than we initially thought, and that even when things feel unbearable, we are equipped with an inner strength that will carry us through. When we face hardship, we often believe that we're alone, that we've been abandoned. It's easy to feel disconnected from everything, to think that we've lost our way. But the truth is, it's during these moments of hardship that God's presence is the most profound. We might not see it right away, but God is always working, shaping and guiding us through our pain. Our trials are not meaningless. They are purposeful, helping us evolve into stronger, more capable individuals. Every challenge, every moment of suffering is preparing us for what lies ahead. God uses these moments to build our character, to teach us lessons that we wouldn't be able to learn any other way. The key to enduring these struggles is understanding that they are not meant to break us, but to build us up. Pain and hardship are transformative experiences. They reveal the parts of us that need to be healed, and they create space for growth. When we stop resisting the discomfort and instead choose to lean into it, we begin to realize that the very things that seem to be pulling us down are the same things that are elevating us. It's through the struggle that we begin to see our strength, to understand our purpose, and to feel God's presence working through us. It's easy to look at life's difficulties and think that we're alone in our suffering, but in reality, every hardship is an opportunity for divine intervention. God works through us in ways we don't always understand, and even when the journey feels unclear, we can trust that there is a greater plan at work. Our pain is not in vain. It is leading us to the place where we will be able to fulfill our purpose and step into the life that God has been preparing for us all along. Through each challenge, we are being strengthened, refined, and guided toward a greater version of ourselves. There are moments in life when it feels like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. When the road ahead seems unclear, when the steps you take seem to lead nowhere, and when you feel utterly lost, it's natural to want to give up or turn back. But it's in these moments of uncertainty that you're actually being shaped, redefined, and realigned with your higher purpose. The feelings of being lost are not signals that you're on the wrong path. They are simply moments when the universe or God is guiding you towards something greater, even if you don't see it yet. Sometimes the very things that feel like setbacks are actually stepping stones to a higher calling. When you feel lost, it's easy to become consumed by fear and doubt. You begin to question everything, including your decisions, your direction, and your worth. What if these feelings of being lost are not a sign of failure, but rather an invitation to trust more deeply? When we are in the dark, we are often being led to a place of greater clarity. We might not see the bigger picture at first, but trust and faith in the process are what will guide us through. The feeling of being lost is often a temporary state, one that will pass as we continue to move forward in faith, even when the path seems unclear. In these times of uncertainty, it's crucial to understand that the feeling of being lost is not permanent. The discomfort we experience during these times is part of the transformative journey. It's through these moments of confusion that we are recalibrated, realigned, and prepared for something better. The key is to not allow fear or doubt to take over, but to stay grounded in the belief that even when we cannot see the way ahead, God is leading us towards something extraordinary. These moments are not detours or signs that we've lost our way. They are parts of the journey that are meant to bring us closer to our true purpose. Often, when we feel lost, we are actually being asked to surrender control and trust that everything is unfolding as it should. We want to have all the answers, to know exactly where we're going and how we're going to get there, but life doesn't always work that way. The discomfort of uncertainty is an invitation to trust in the process, to let go of the need to control and to embrace the journey with faith. When we surrender, we open ourselves to the possibility that the path ahead will reveal itself in due time. The road may not be straight, and the path may not always make sense, but the destination is often far more beautiful than we can imagine. The key to navigating these feelings of being lost is understanding that this is where growth occurs. Being lost doesn't mean you are stuck. It means you are in the process of evolving, learning, and expanding. The discomfort you feel is pushing you to become a better version of yourself. God is not leaving you to wander aimlessly. He is leading you through a process that will ultimately reveal the strength and wisdom you've been building all along. Even when the journey seems unclear, we remember that you are never truly lost. You are simply in a moment of transition, being prepared for something greater. When we feel lost, it's easy to question our faith and wonder if we are on the right path. The uncertainty can be overwhelming, and in those moments, we may feel abandoned or misunderstood, as though our purpose is slipping through our fingers. But the truth is, when we feel lost, God is often working behind the scenes in ways that we cannot yet comprehend. These periods of confusion and lack of direction are often not signs that we are far from our purpose, but instead are signs that we are in the process of aligning more closely with it. The feeling of being lost is not a punishment, but rather an invitation to grow and to trust that the universe is guiding us toward a higher calling. It's difficult to embrace the unknown, especially when we crave clarity and certainty. We live in a world where immediate answers are often expected, and we are conditioned to feel uncomfortable when things aren't going as planned. However, it's during these times of uncertainty that God often speaks to us the most. When we feel lost, we are in a space where we must rely on our faith, not on our ability to see the next step clearly. This is a divine opportunity to trust in the unseen, to surrender to the process, and to believe that everything is unfolding in perfect timing. In these moments, it can help to remember that the feeling of being lost is temporary. It is a passing phase, a season of recalibration. Just as nature goes through cycles of growth and rest, so too do we. The seasons of confusion are necessary because they force us to pause and reflect. They allow us the space to look within and reconnect with our deeper sense of purpose. Even though we may not see the results of this process right away, it is in the darkness that the most profound shifts take place. It is when we feel lost that we are often being prepared for a breakthrough, a moment of revelation that will lead us to exactly where we need to be. In these moments of uncertainty, it's crucial to lean into trust. Trust that even when we cannot see the road ahead, God's hand is leading us. Trust that the discomfort of feeling lost is part of the process of realigning ourselves with our true purpose. Trust that even though we may not have all the answers right now, the answers will come when we are ready to receive them. It's this trust that allows us to move forward with faith, even when the path seems unclear. Sometimes feeling lost is a reminder that we need to take a step back and listen It's in these moments that we can hear the still, small voice of God guiding us, showing us the way. The feeling of being lost is not something to fear, but something to embrace. It's a sign that we are being called to step into a deeper level of faith, to release the need for control, and to trust that the path is unfolding exactly as it should. Through this process, we emerge stronger, more aligned with our true purpose, and more attuned to the divine guidance that is always available to us. In conclusion, when we feel lost, it's not a sign that we are off track, but rather a signal that we are being guided towards something greater than we can see in the moment. The uncertainty, the discomfort, and the struggle are all part of the divine plan that is shaping us into who we are meant to become. God's presence is strongest during these times, helping us grow, evolve, and realign with our true purpose. These moments of feeling lost are not moments of abandonment, but invitations to trust in the journey, to surrender control, and to embrace the unknown with faith and openness. Every twist and turn, every challenge faced, is a step toward a more profound understanding of who we are and the path we are destined to follow. Even in the darkest moments, God is leading us. And the feeling of being lost is simply part of the process of becoming who we are truly meant to be. Trust in the journey, knowing that every step you take, even when you can't see the way forward, is part of a larger plan. You are never truly lost. God is leading you every step of the way. Thank you.